How you doing, folks? It's your boy Donald Wonder. We're going to do a book review today for a really cool name for a book series, the Riyria book series. The Riyria book series was written by, well, this is a story in itself, which we're going to get into. It's a self-published author who I believe promoted his books himself, published himself without a major book publisher company, and he rose to worldwide acclaim and then got himself a deal. So it's not just the Riyria stories that are good, but it's the story of how this publisher rose the flames and became an international success. So let's get into it.
Tyro Media.
Okay, let's talk about the Riyria book series. Quick premise to the Riyria book series. It's about mainly two thieves for hire called Hadrian Blackwater and Royce Hellburn. I'm going to try to do this without editing. Okay, I couldn't. The series of books goes through their adventures on their little jobs, and they go through so many things, and you bump into wizards and princesses and empires and elves and funny romances and craziness. This whole franchise is a jovial fantasy adventure. And, okay, jovial fantasy action adventure. And like I said, the author's got a really interesting story behind him as well. So, the author of the Riyria series is one Michael J. Sullivan. Now, Michael J. Sullivan, and I do apologise, sir, if I'm getting your biography wrong. There'll be a link in the description if you want to read more about the author. But off the top of my head, Michael J. Sullivan has been a writer since the 1980s, and he's been trying to get book deals. He's written multiple books, but as most writers go through, he's getting a lot of, denials and drawbacks. And I think for a time he stopped in like the 90s, just stopped altogether, gave up on trying to get a deal. And in the 2000s, although he was constantly writing, he just still wasn't publishing. His wife persuaded him to go down the solo route, because now with technology, as most of you guys should know, you can do self-published books through Barnes & Noble, through Amazon, through various outlets now. So the whole scene has changed. Just like with all other types of media, you can self-promote and become your own businessman. He did that. He released his first series of the Riyria book series, which is called the Riyria Revelations, and it was a critical success. Soon afterwards, he got a more commercial book publishing deal, finally, from Orbit, and he got worldwide distribution. Now, there's also a prequel series called the Riyria Chronicles, which, when you think about it, the Riyria Revelations is like Lord of the Rings, and the Riyria Chronicles is more like The Hobbit. So one's the main story, one's the prelude. And right now, he's focusing on writing the prelude backstory because the main story is done. So that's basically the premise of the author. It's a good success story. And again, it's kind of inspiring because, as you guys know, whether you're a YouTuber who rises to fame and makes millions off his own back, or a musician who rises to fame on YouTube or whatever, Britain's Got Talent, American Idol, whatever, we live in a society now where you can do for self. You can self-publish yourself, you can promote yourself, and then once you do that and you become a success to the public, chances are you're going to rise above and become a commercial success. And that's what this guy here does. And honestly, it's a bit inspiring when I look at it that way. But anyway, back to the book series. Now, at the time of this recording, September 2014, I have finished the core story, which is the Riyria Revelations, which is like the Lord of the Rings core story. And I'm now reading the Chronicles story, which is like the Hobbit story, as I said before. And I listen to the audiobook format, which is again, how many times I have to tell you guys, I love audiobooks. It's like having someone really cool reading a story to you, like your grandpa, your really class Morgan Freeman, whoever with a great voice, reading out classic stories to you. How can you not want to listen to great stories by narrators? I mean, it's not for everyone, but anyway, I digress. This was fantastically done. The voice actor, whose name I'll put up here because I can't remember right now, absolutely fantastic. It was it was produced by Recorded Books. They do a lot of good audio. For those of you who don't know, there's a lot of different audio book publishers like Graphic Audio and plenty of others, but Graphic Audio sticks to mind. Orbit's another good one as well. Sorry, Recorded Audio is another good one as well. And they do a great job. The narrator's fantastic. He does a wide range of voices. And I love voice actors that can do so many different voices, so many different genders. It just gets you immersed into the story. And again, I loved it. The main story, Riyria Revelations, is fantastic. It was originally 6 books. When he self-published it, it was 6 books. When he got the Orbit deal, the commercial Orbit deal, they comprised it into a trilogy. And the trilogy, I'm trying to remember the name, Theft of Swords, Hair of Novron. Okay, I'm just going to put it up here because I can't remember. I do apologize, guys. But that's what it is there for anyway. So these are the trilogy. Awesome trilogy. Like I said, it's jovial. I've been reading a lot of kind of intense books. This is this is still good action. It's not some dumb comedy. It's a great fantasy adventure. It's about these 2 thieves that they're kind of like, I guess you could go like an odd couple. One's a jovial and funny one who's got mass amounts of skill. That's Hadrian. And then you've got Royce, who's the calm, conceited one who's oozing with talent, skills, very mysterious guy, very quiet guy. And these 2 play off each other really well. I love these characters, man. These are just lovable characters. I love their chemistry, their synergy. I love their interactions with the people. The other cast of the Revelation series, like Princess Arista, the prince, I can't remember his name right now. Anyway, the whole cast is good. You've got princes, princesses, lords. You've got villains. You've got wizards. You've got elves, like I said before. And it's just a really nice variety of a different flavor of characters. And the writing is really, really good. Really good. I mean, it has a story. It sounds like it's going to be about these 2 features doing jobs, but the Revelations is a bigger story. And the first book, which I believe is called Theft of the Swords, that starts off with just being a job, but then it expands to the bigger story where the other 6 books or other 2 books are just, it opens up into a bigger story. And honestly, I really, really liked it. I do have one criticism though. Although I like the books, they are long. And I like long books because they get me through the day of work or traveling or whatever. But as the books go on, sometimes the focus, sometimes characters will split up. Like the main 2 guys, Hadrian and Royce, will split up. And then the story will be told from different perspectives. Like Hadrian will be in one place, Royce will be in another, and then the story will switch from there to there. For the most part, it was fine, it was enjoyable. Even when they were speaking about other characters, their stories were written well. But sometimes I felt like the focus was just too focused. And what I mean by that is, I'll give you an example. One instance in particular where Royce and Hadrian are on a boat to go on a job. And Mr. Sullivan goes into great detail in describing a crew of a boat have different roles to play. You've got the shipwright, you've got the guy who brings down the sail, and he just went into, at times, he just went into, I don't want to say meticulous detail, but the detail into things that weren't, crucial to the plot, and I just wanted to get on with it. So many times I was just like, I don't want to listen to this Lord talk about the law. I don't want to listen to, it doesn't happen a lot. To give you a percentage, I would say 20% of it is just too much for me. And I know when you get into detail like that, it's meant to help you with immersion. It's meant to get you immersed in the story. It's meant to do a lot of world building. But for me, honestly, it was too much. It was a bit like fat that needed to be trimmed. So of the whole thing, I'll just be very blunt and say 20% of this could have been cut off for me. Tighter would have been phenomenal. Because sometimes those other bits where it was just, I wasn't interested in these characters. I wasn't interested in hearing about this. It bothered me because they were sprinkled in through the whole series. And 1 or 2 times after that, I just want to skip. But no, I listened to the whole thing. That's my only gripe. Nothing's perfect. No book series is perfect. But I just felt like this could have been a much tighter experience if it just didn't meander on certain elements at times. And I've heard some of the reviews say the same thing. Well, actually, some people even want more. But for me, that was my gripe. But that's it. Honestly, overall, great story, lovable. I love the characters. I love the writing for the characters. I love the dialogue. I love the language. I love the world building. This is a really enjoyable series. I'm talking about the core story now, Revelations. I loved it. I really did. And even though I had my problems with it, the 6 books are fantastic. It got high praise on the internet. My brother even recommended this to me, so props to you, GA. If you're watching this, props to my brother. And it's awesome. Mr. J. Sullivan, you are a great writer. I'm glad that you finally got your work out there. I'm glad you finally got published because you have got something special to say. And yeah, so let me just say, the Riyria Revelations, which is the core story, I'm going to give that a solid B. I really enjoyed it. It's really jovial. It's really kind of light-hearted adventure, not too serious. But for what it is, I think it's really good. Now, what I'm reading now is the Riyria Chronicles. The Riyria Chronicles is the prequel. Like I said, it's kind of like The Hobbit, where you find out how these two originally met. Because when you read the core story, they've already met, they've already been friends for 12 years. But this original story, from what Mr. Sullivan said, is he wants to write a book for each year of their friendship of when they were this team called the Riyria. The Riyria is the team. And they've only, 2 books are only out now. I'm reading the first one, which I believe is called the Tower of something. It's going to be here, I can't remember. And I love these prequels. I love them even more. Right now, I'm only at the end of the first one, and I think I'm going to love these prequels more than the original series. I'm sorry, because it's just Hadrian and Royce getting to know each other, and it's that everything I love about the characters are even intensified, and even you get to find out about more characters like Gwen's backstory, and I don't know what's coming next, but I am loving this. I think I'm going to love this franchise, and I'm not going to rate the Chronicles series because I just started, but right now it's up there and even surpassing what I read before, only with the 2 books I'm starting to read now. So in total, the Riyria story, the Riyria book series is really great. I really like this writer. I'm reviewing this because I want to promote it, and I think it's fantastic. I think if you want something a little bit jovial, but with action, good action, with a bit of suspense, with a bit of magic, with a little bit of that Lord of the Rings fantasy to it, you're going to like this. But I just like it being lighthearted. I love the comedy. And you know what? The author himself is someone that I actually respect. I respect people who do for themselves. I respect people who, not everyone can make it commercially through companies. Sometimes you have to go public. So I'm inspired by this guy. Not that I'm going to be a writer, but even as a YouTuber, someone who's just doing their own thing, who wants to climb and make it of himself, it's inspiring. So anyway, enough of that. Great series. Check out the Riyria book series. I know I gave it a solid B, which honestly might be low for you guys. I really, really, really did enjoy the series, and I highly recommend it. And a lot of you guys did. So that's it. Check it out, people. You won't be disappointed. The Riyria. Love that name. Riyria sounds so damn cool. Might get a shirt of Riyria or something. But anyway, that's enough of that. That's the book series review. Check out Riyria. People, leave a comment, subscribe if you like the content, and don't forget to hit that like button to let me know you enjoy what I do, you want to see more, I want to do more. I love doing this, people. I love your feedback. So let's converse. Tell me what you think of the Riyria series. Any other book series you think is really good, only good, don't want crap. No, none of this, that kind of thing. Please don't. I've already read it and it was terrible. That's it, people. I'm out. See you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Peace.